Senator Hirono.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Chair Raskin and Ranking Member Durbin for calling all of us together. And it's nice to see my colleagues from the House, especially with Congressman Johnson, with whom, I was elected to the U.S. House the same year. And of course, I want to particularly give my aloha to our AG from Minnesota, Keith. We were elected at the same time. So here we are. We're still plugging away. We have a president who does not think that the rule of law applies to him. He is governing through executive orders and taking unilateral actions. And as we all know, there are over 200 lawsuits that have been filed to prevent this regime and this president from continuing in his lawless endeavors. Many of them, and dozens, of course, brought by our state Democratic AGs, including the Democratic Attorney General of the state of Hawaii. So I'm really proud of the fact that you all are fighting back, because the only thing standing between us and the lawlessness of this administration are those of you fighting back through the filing of various lawsuits. And it takes time. We know that the president really, as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't give a rip about our constitutional rights and our protections. So thank goodness for you all. I did have a question. There are a number of questions that I have, but one that comes to mind is his executive order trying to end birthright citizenship. And Attorney General Placken, you are the lead on this. And I'm not sure how the Supreme Court is going to decide. Apparently, they're not going to get to the merits of whether or not birthright citizenship is a constitutionally protected right, or whether the Supreme Court is simply going to somehow opine about nationwide injunctions and the appropriateness of a nationwide injunction during the pendency of the case. Can you tell us a little bit more about what might happen with the court's decision, which is coming soon? And there are a lot of people who are citizens, thanks to birthright citizenship, who are very concerned about what the Supreme Court could do.
Well, Senator, first of all, let me, in absentia, commend your Attorney General, Ann Lopez, who is an outstanding colleague and part of our coalition, notwithstanding the time difference. She is on all of our calls. You're absolutely right. I was in the courtroom, as was General Campbell a few weeks ago in the Supreme Court. I'm very proud he's here today. Our Solicitor General, Jeremy Feigenbaum, was arguing on behalf of the states. And I think we have to remember how truly remarkable and astonishing it is to hear the United States government, first of all, not even concede that they would follow Supreme Court precedent, which even Justice Coney Barrett sort of was shocked to hear the Solicitor General of the United States say. But to be arguing to the highest court in the land that a baby born in the United States' citizenship should turn on whether the Attorney General of their state joined a lawsuit. That was fundamentally what they were arguing. They weren't even contesting whether this is constitutional, because even they know this is the most unconstitutional order maybe ever signed by a president. But they do think babies in Philadelphia should be treated differently than babies in Camden. And I think we have to remember what that would mean. Well, in New Jersey, we are a small, dense state. A lot of mothers choose to cross the border into Philadelphia to give birth. Is it really the position of the United States government, this is what we were asking, that that child's citizenship turns on whether that mother is at the supermarket when they go into labor across the river? Well, we've reached a point of absurdity here that is really dangerous for residents of our country.
And I find it totally absurd that this is a constitutionally protected provision. It is in the U.S. Constitution, and we have a Supreme Court that might base their decision on whether, depending on what every state's attorney general or whoever might be filing a lawsuit, whether that is pursued. It makes absolutely no sense. So this is not a Supreme Court that we can rely upon, as far as I'm concerned, to protect our rights and privileges. You know, there are so many questions relating to the lawlessness of this regime, as I refer to it, but I did want to ask one more thing about them conditioning funding on immigration enforcement. Again, this Attorney General Raoul, last week you led a challenge by 20 attorney generals, including Hawaii's, against an attempt by the Department of Homeland Security to condition emergency management and disaster relief funding on the state immigration enforcement. What sort of important funding would be at risk from this kind of reckless tying of federal funds to cooperation on deportations?
And thank you for your question, Senator. Again, I mentioned as an example earlier the tornadoes that tend to hit Illinois. California has had wildfires. There are disasters of various nature that hit different regions of our country, and our ability to respond should not be contingent upon immigration enforcement. And unfortunately, the prioritization of this administration on trying to find every tool possible to try to compel the states to do what is the federal government's job in terms of civil immigration enforcement. They're going to the lowest of the low to go towards restricting funding that would otherwise help families in their greatest time of need when disasters have hit their homes and their communities.
Just one more comment. I mean, but if the court does not support what you are arguing, then this regime could tie any sort of contracts, funding, grants, all kinds of things on cooperation with them on their goal to deport 11 million undocumented people. Thank you.